Ooh, that's a 0%. Hold on a second. Oh, that's a good grenade. I like that. I'm very interested in using mods. I mean, yeah, if you want to shoot some links my way, dude, I will check every single one of them out. Now, that's something though. You say download Mod Organizer 2 followed by Fallout Mod Manager. Are those like two different mod managers? Because I've known using the Nexus system. What do they call that? Vortex. And that, for the most part, kind of works. I don't know. A lot of like the mods I get off that site are memes or whatever, or like ways I can make the game worse. Because those mods, they always work. I don't know why. Like if it's not serious and it doesn't make the game any better, it's like the easiest thing to install.
Welcome to Jacobstown, human. You're free to walk around. Just don't stare at the Nightkin. They don't like people looking at them. And if you're NCR, keep it to yourself. They're not popular around here.
Oh, is it for? Oh, you know what? Shoot, that deleted. I forgot about that. Yeah, Chat Patrol is gonna wipe you out. That's all automated. See if you can shoot them to me in a whisper, maybe. Because I don't know how to turn that part off of chat. I don't know how to tell Chat Patrol not to do that. Fun fact about Marcus, by the way, this is the second Fallout game that he was featured in. He was originally in Fallout 2. I can't remember what town he was in, but I think he was a sheriff. And Fallout 2 is one of my favorite Fallout titles, by the way. Alright, whatever. We're not going to talk to you. I don't think... You're more of like, what's the word? Shoot, chat message. Hold on a second. I have to open up my... Hold on a second, wait. Actually, you know what? Let me see something. Because if the filter... You know what? It was caught up in the filter. So I still see the link. Hold on a second. Let me see. Okay, yeah, the link works. I got the link. It came through. It just got caught up in the filter. But it's still visible. It's still visible to me. I don't know how to unlock any of that, though. I don't know. I have to look more into Chat Patrol. My streams don't get big. And there's not a lot of, no, you're good, dude. Don't, no, my streams don't ever get big, you know, so usually I only have like 1, maybe 2 chatters, 3 chatters on a good day, so Chat Patrol doesn't actually get triggered a whole lot, and, you know, you guys are so well behaved. I love chat so much. So yeah, now this is all kind of a learning experience for me. Let's get the game back open. Yep. There we go. All right. Jacobstown. I don't know what kind of quests we can get up here that we can do. Or, I mean, we can technically do any of the quests up here, but given our current stats and our current abilities, I don't know what would be a viable option for us. We could probably, you know what, with 2, it might be a bit of a stretch, but the Nightkin, or not the Nightkin, the Night Stalker quest, we might be able to do up here. Uh, one sec to you, Dr. Henry. I think
I
Dr.
assume
Henry
this
was
is
also
about
in 2
something
games.
important. You're interrupting my research.
If I remember correctly, I think the entire Enclave crew that you put together in this one was also featured in the second Fallout. I think. I don't know if that is true. That's, I think, something I've heard in passing and not so much. I don't know. It's been a minute since I played Fallout 2. But I mean, as it goes for like lore and everything, Fallout 2 was the biggest, I think, the most rich lore based storytelling game that actually ever did come out in the Fallout series. What are you working on?
The Nightkin have varying degrees of mental instability due to their addiction to stealth boy use. I've been trying to come up with a cure. I'm currently investigating the local Night Stalker population, since they seem to have developed a natural stealth field. I've also gotten my hands on a working Stealth Boy Mark II prototype.
I don't remember
That
if Arch
experiment is
Darnan
risky.
was in Fallout
I'd
2
rather not
either.
pursue that research.
I'm gonna revisit that game one of these days. I'm gonna do a stream with that. The problem with streaming Fallout 2 is that, and you know, I'm not trying to talk bad of it. I love the game. I love these kinds of slow-paced, turn-based games. But the original Fallout games are very slow and very boring. So it's really hard to stream them because not a lot of people get like hyped about that. I don't know. I feel like it's hard to get hyped about that. I'd like to help. What do you need me to do?
I'm not convinced that the Night Stalker mutation is a natural one, and I need someone to investigate their lair for proof. Some of the super mutants have looked around as well, but they've come back empty-handed. Perhaps a pair of fresh eyes will have better luck. Lily might be interested in coming with you. She's lost a few of her bighorners to Night Stalker attacks, and would enjoy a little revenge.
Now you got me thinking too. I don't know. I've really gotta. I don't know. I've been working on something since Fallout turns. No, it's already turned 25. I've seen a lot of people have posted like up on YouTube their own review of different quests and everything, and developer retrospectives of, you know, the way the story was told in the game. I've been kind of doing my own version of that, picking out things like, right now I'm still working on the rough draft of Volt 3, and kind of the story told on there, and the story of Harold, and I got a few other ones that I'm working on too, but everything is still really in its rough draft stage. So I'm sure like eventually I'm probably going to get to the point where I'm going to have notes on everything in this game, because like I lost my train of thought there for a second. We're doing this quest. What are we doing? What makes you think the Night Stalker mutation isn't natural?
I've compared the brain chemistry of a Nightkin to one of the local Night Stalkers we killed. They both exhibit similar neurochemical changes. Now, I'm not claiming that Night Stalkers are running around wearing stealth boys, mind you. I just don't
Cannibal
think it's a
Johnson?
coincidence.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. Was his name Cannibal Johnson, or was his cave's name Cannibal Johnson? And like that was just a nickname that he picked up, or something. No, yeah, you're right. No, it was the cave was named Cannibal Johnson, and he was Cannibal Johnson too, wasn't he? I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Call me out if I'm wrong about anything. Call me out on it. Why is the Stealth Boy Mark II riskier?
The stealth field has been modulated to use less power and thus last longer, but for some reason it has pronounced negative effects on the user. However, these pronounced effects will allow me to pinpoint exactly what parts of the brain they're affecting. Unfortunately, I'll need to run the test on a live subject. And Marcus has encouraged me to investigate the Night Stalker mutation first.
See, now you got me really interested in his story now. After this stream, I'm gonna be... Because in my time, right now, I'm not talking about like my timeline or anything, my geographical time is, what, currently 5 to 1. Is it 5? Yeah, 5 to 1. And I don't usually actually... I end my stream around 2 o'clock in my time, so I got like another hour of this. And then I do sit upstairs and I go through videos or whatever else I'm recording. I'm getting things all set up. But I'm also doing like research on this stuff too, trying to learn more about Fallout. So now I'm going to spend up until around 5 o'clock in the morning learning more about this Cannibal Johnson dude, because I don't know too much about his backstory, and now you got me all riled up. Now I got to know more about him.
Because Marcus asked me to, and
I'm not really... I kind of want to skip through all this dialogue. I just want a nice, easy quest. I know he's not the guy to go to for the quest, though. Honestly, I don't think this is the place to be. But we've got the building. What do we got for experience? Let's check our level real quick. About 1,000 more and we'll get there. I don't think there's a store up here, though. So, maybe, low intelligence to get that. You know what? And that's okay. Yeah. So my next quest is with the Charleston Cave. You know what I could do? I think if I get the Animal Friend perk, I would be able to go through that without having any kind of attack interactions or anything like that with the Night Stalkers, but I don't think we are anywhere near having that perk. No, but that was something I really liked about the original Fallout series, was that if you had a low stat, you know, like you had low intelligence the entire game, you're making incoherent noises. You're not making dialogue. Your character's just blah, 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 you know, like just making noises at characters. And then Fallout 3 came out, and it wasn't like that. It was a little bit different. You know, you were still making regular dialogue options, and you know, you could have a low strength and you're still able to carry most of your stuff. You can still play the game all the way through, and it wasn't really that bad. But I didn't realize that about Fallout New Vegas until recently, is that there was actually options. If you had a low enough intelligence, you could make bad options or bad speech checks. And I think that really kind of brought a lot of respect back to... Like, I have a lot of respect for New Vegas. One of the best Fallouts, like, number 2 next, and personal favorites, number 2 next to Fallout 2... is Fallout New Vegas, you know? And it was because they brought a lot... I mean, this game is huge, you know? Red Rock Canyon, Vault 3. There's not really a lot we can do with Vault 3. I'm afraid we're just going to get just pummeled if we try to go over there. Black Mountains of Death Wish, Death Mission. I don't know if there's anything else out that way. Anything out this side. I mean, if we try to make our way down this road, we're dead. Because not only we gotta find, or not fight, what's the word I'm looking for? Not only do we have to try to avoid the Cazadors and the Death Claws, but the Lake Lurks as well. Which have a ranged attack. They got like some kind of sonic blast or something like that just kind of kicks our ass, and it doesn't really work for us. The 188 trading post, that might be a good place to stop. We need duct tape, MFC and microfusion cells or whatever they're called. You know, that is, you could just walk to your destination in the original Fallouts. Um, but I think one of my favorite things, not just that you could walk to your destinations, but the random encounters I think were a bit more not personalized, but they felt more personal, you know? Not like leveling up by your characters or anything, but like each one was carefully put together and you rolled for the chance to get one out of these different options, and some of them are extremely difficult and some of them are just barely scratching the surface, and it really didn't feel like, you know, any given place you go to in the game was going to really give you any guaranteed options. I had so many plays with Fallout 1 where I'd start the run and the first encounter I get right outside of the vault was just massively difficult, and I thought, you know, maybe there was a way to get, there's always a way to run away, of course, but you try to stick around and fight, boom, your run's done. You know, and that's kind of the part of it. Like if I'm trying to do a no run challenge or no fear challenge where I fight everything and try to make it through, not a chance. NCR heavy trooper, looks like they're already here.
When I got this assignment, I was hoping.
Whoops. Ezekiel is, I don't remember what Ezekiel's deal is.
Wish the followers would get me some better armor.
Is he part of the followers of the apocalypse? I don't remember. It looks like that's one of those bomb necklaces or whatever those are called. No, but you know, that's, you know, and what I was saying too with the Fallout and the each encounter being personal was, you know, it's where Fallout New Vegas got a lot of things right, and then we're not even talking about Fallout 3, because Fallout 3 was kind of its own little thing. I feel like that was a gentle train wreck. Like, it was still a good game, don't get me wrong, but it didn't live up to its other ones as well. Like, there was a lot that was missed out on with Fallout 3. But, you know, Fallout New Vegas really kind of picked up the pace on that. But what it did miss out on was those random encounters. Like, they happen in the game, don't get me wrong. But 99% of the time, I can say, oh, you know, if we're looking for fire geckos, we'll go over to the Legion side, where the Legion camps are on the east side next to the river. Or we'll go up there near Red Rock Canyon. We can find the Deathclaws through the center part. But, you know, if I'm just walking out here, I'm not going to get a random encounter with a Deathclaw. Or really, you know, anything like that. I mean, if there's a random encounter, it might be like the Night Stalkers sneaking up on me that one time I was trying to see what the Legion was doing. Fire gecko hide. We need that. What else do we need? Hold on. We've got the fire gecko hide. We need the golden gecko hide. And the green gecko. I don't know. I'm not entirely certain if we have the ability to get the green gecko. Let's see. What about this one? Yeah. If we can get the green gecko in the base game, or if we have to go to Utah. I know they're up in Utah. I know that for a fact. There was many of them that I exterminated when I last played that DLC. No, absolutely. You know, and I had that conversation with my my neighbor, my next door neighbor. We sat outside. We were talking about because she's not she's older than I am. I'm what am I 20? I'll be turning 26 here soon, here in about a month. Oh no, less than a month actually. Yeah, my birthday is in December. I'll be turning 26. You know what I am essentially is a Skyrim zoomer, right? But because those are the games that technically my generation grew up on, and those are the games I got started on. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's where I started on, and I kind of built that bad habit of fast traveling everywhere and not really paying attention to the quest. But then I got really into like the older series too, because I knew Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 and Skyrim. Those weren't the first games to come out. There were older ones than that, and I really wanted to get the most out of the story as I could, so I started playing the older ones. And then I got really into like character building and everything like that. So when I started playing the original Fallout games, I would print up the character sheets as I would do everything else. Like, you know, when I was building my characters, and I'd follow along. I'd have the blank character sheet. I would have my trapper keeper that had all of my plays through it. I'd have my notes. I would have marked locations. And I think the game that really brought me into character creation the most, it kind of brought me into dungeons as well, trying to get more into dungeons, was the original Elder Scrolls. The first Elder Scrolls game to come out, which was Arena. That one was something else. Because you didn't have... I think we're going to head over here and see what we can do with the NCR building here. But no, the original Elder Scrolls game, Elder Scrolls Arena, when that came out, there wasn't map markers, there wasn't fast travel. Like, you actually had to have pad and pen. You had to have all your information down. There was really no other way to play the game. I mean, you could blindly go into the game, but you weren't going to have any fun, guaranteed. And I didn't really have that many people to play dungeons with. I mean, I grew up in redneck country, you know. Like, my next door neighbors, the kids that lived over there, they weren't, like, rolling dice to figure out, oh, you know, am I going to be a Centaurian, I don't know, wizard, warlock, or anything like that. They were, hey, let's see how many bullets we can fire into a side of a brick wall before it falls down. That was the kind of fun that we had growing up. So I really enjoyed. I took as much time as I could to play these older games as I could growing up, so that way I can get that dungeons experience. That said, though, if anyone out there is looking for a player, I'm currently looking for a group, so you know, hit me up. But I digress. We're not playing Elder Scrolls. We're playing Fallout, which is like, I don't know. This is like there was a Dungeons variant that it was kind of like Fallout, but it wasn't post-apocalyptic. It was like everything just got worse, and eventually it was like everything turned into this big dystopia. And it's at a loss for me. I remember when I played it with the last group I played with. It was about police force in the future or something like that. It's lost to me though. It was such a it drew me in because it wasn't dungeons, and it kind of like it changed the perspective on how I played and how I perceived it. It's gonna kill me now. Because it had its own play set, play rules, everything. Maybe I'll hit up the GM that I was playing with. He would know. I haven't talked to him in a minute anyways. Not that we've got like a bad relationship or anything. It's just It was one of those things, when you play dungeons long enough, eventually your group kind of starts to break apart, and then nobody plays anymore. Oh yeah, you know what, and that's the thing too. And that's something that drives me crazy. Is that like for me growing up playing games, dungeons, whatever else, it was like the nerdiest thing you could do. Ooh, don't talk to me, get out of here, shoo, scram, whatever. Like people didn't want to hang out with you for that. Nobody really cared that you were interested in this stuff. But nowadays, everyone's like, "Oh, video games, that's the coolest thing you can do." There's a lot of general interest in this stuff, and like Dungeons and Dragons is really coming back. Stranger Things, I don't know if you watched that show. Yeah, I couldn't sit at the cool lunch. Yeah, I know, man. You know what? Come sit at my lunch table. We'll make our own cool lunch table, and you know what? We'll roll d20s for everything we eat. Mm-hmm. But no, what was I saying? Now I've lost my train of thought. No, today, like, video games and everything, when Stranger Things came out and the kids were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and now, when I go down to, like, the bookstore or anything like that, I mean, they've got the Stranger Things, Dungeons and Dragons limited edition collector's set, and it's got the pieces to it. It's got I mean, I don't think they're really that rare of dice, but the die are technically, like, limited edition. Honestly, they look like the same 20 boxes the guy at the local comic book store has that's been sitting there collecting dust for last 30 years or so. But still, I mean, it's like those things are making a huge comeback. Like, they're really popular now. My younger siblings are actually really interested. Well, the one is really interesting. I got a younger sibling who's 12, and then my youngest sibling is 7. I'm the oldest, by the way. But my younger sister, who's 12, she shows so much interest in dungeons. I got her for her birthday one year a starter kit. It had the master, or the Dungeon Master's Guide, the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual, and it had the Dungeon Master screen. It had like a full ream of character sheets, and she flipped. She loved it, and she still does. She'll sit there and she'll read all these different. She theory crafts, which is my favorite thing too. And I like going over and I'll talk dungeons with her all day. She'll theory craft, playable characters as monsters, but then subclass and multiclass them with like things that don't make sense either, and then just hypothetically for a moment builds these character sheets and says this might work. This might be a good character. I think she did one. It was a centaur that was a wizard, and it was pretty interesting. I don't know. I'll have to find it. Or maybe that wasn't her. Maybe that was somebody else. No, anyway, she pulls up that stuff though, and she gets really into it, and so that brings a lot of joy, into my heart, knowing that this is something I grew up with that I wish I had more people to enjoy it with, and it's not so much of this like social pariah kind of thing where only the cringiest and neckbeardiest and geekiest of geeks play. But it's now a thing for everybody, and a lot more people are enjoying it. And it's such a great thing, Chief Hanlon, wake up! I want to talk to you real quick.
I'm occupied at the moment. Come see me when I'm on the balcony.
You go into the balcony now, I'll follow you. Oh, yeah. And you know what? That's the thing, though, is that there's always going to be that one guy. But that one guy is getting less and less support. Every year, he's able to rally some group of other guys who can think just like him. But, the last so many people I've talked to about this stuff, and I feel so comfortable talking openly about it, too, that I'm not like scared of that one guy anymore. I know that for every one guy there's 20 other guys who are like, hey, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, yeah, let's talk about that. That's such a cool concept. And that one guy is now the singled out guy. He's now the guy I was, 10, 12, 13 years ago, The same guy that you were them so many years ago. Yeah, the world's really kind of gone topsy-turvy on it, and really for the better, if you ask me. This guy, dude, you gotta pick up your room, man. I know I don't got much room to talk, because my bedroom's a little messy, truth be told. But, looks like an earthquake went through there. I don't really want to side with NCR on this, but... Yeah, that's how a real man sleeps. Yeah, you got that right. Just all that garbage on top of the bed. Where's the balcony? Oh, the balcony's right there. Oh, I gotta readjust how I'm sitting. My blood flow to my head's starting to get cut off by the sheer weight of my body leaning on this armrest. Right. What do we got here? It's still just Veronica. I think he comes out sometime in the morning. So let's give it a few hours and see what happens. Ugh. That's the worst thing about being sick is how often you blow your nose. Which faction am I siding with then, huh? You think you're so smart? You think you know me that well? No. The worst part about being sick, if you have a piercing, I've got a septum piercing. I got many years. Oh, not that many years ago. It feels like it's been many years. Actually, I think it's been like 4, 5 maybe years ago. But it's like stuck in my nose. The part that unscrews that lets me get it out got cross-threaded, and it's just kind of been stuck like that for so long. I could try to pry it off with pliers, but honestly, I think it just does more damage than good because it's
back west.
It's
you
awful.
Don't see too many of these.
Do I regret it? Right now, yeah.
Natural or man-made, any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago.
Oh, it's
Owens,
awful.
Isabella, San Luis.
Do I regret it?
Drained the
A little bit,
aquifers
yeah.
of
No,
everything
but
they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water.
it could be worse.
Takes
At least
getting
it's not
used
like an eyebrow piercing or
Here
something.
long
Because
enough,
like
it starts to seem normal.
in I found
what
like the
Rangers
biggest
like.
issue I've had with having this nose ring,
I don't think
besides
we've had
whenever
the
I'm
pleasure
sick
of
and I blow
meeting
my nose a
before.
ton,
What can I do
is
for
in
you?
any kind of professional environment. Like if I'm at a job or something like that, and I'm expected to have, be presentable. One of the things they don't like are people who have nose rings, right? I could pop it up, boom, but now I don't have a nose ring anymore. What are you talking about? It's super easy to hide. So it's not really been something I'm super stressed about, like, I've got to get this removed. I keep it clean. I've never had an infection. Not really a problem, Yeah, sure, I set off a metal detector every now and then, but who doesn't? Do you ever stop talking?
I didn't realize you were in such a hurry. I get so used to sitting in this chair and listening to radio reports, sometimes I forget people are getting ready for war out there.
Let's talk about something else.
Shoot.
Yeah, right. No nose ring. What? There's nothing there. Nothing up. Delusional. That's what you are. Man, I don't want to side with the Rangers, but it is probably, honest to God, in my best interest. I'm torn. This is like this, and this is what I love about Fallout New Vegas, by the way, is that there's not two options. There's not one option that you have to follow. There is a whole moral dilemma that you go through just doing one thing. Because I could side with Yes Man, right? I could side with House. Either one of those two options aren't a very bad option, I don't think. I could side with the NCR and let the NCR take control, or help the NCR take control of the Mojave. Or what is it? The whole Mojave, or is it just the Vegas Strip? I think it's just the Vegas Strip, but I've always just forced myself to believe that the entire Mojave is controlled by the one faction. I could do any one of those routes. Easiest way is always Yes Man. But I don't know, does Yes Man get support? I don't remember. Does Yes Man get support from the NCR? Or does he lose support from the NCR? Because I don't remember if it's doing it through House. I know there's one way you can do it where instead of having either the NCR or the Legion on your side, everyone's firing their guns at you. And it makes it a whole lot more difficult. Tell me about
Folks
yourself.
around here call me the chief, but handling's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water.
How do you coordinate the intel?
It's a simple system when it works. Patrol Rangers radio intel to ranger stations. The comm Rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Golf. Then I or one of the other Rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it.
Oh,
send
you know what?
information to camps or troopers in the field.
I forgot that was even an option, destroying the Hoover Dam. Maybe secure terrains under the... My biggest issue is I really screwed up with the Legion. I'm already in the last act, or I'm almost there at the last act, and I think I've kind of screwed up on any last minute saves when it comes to my relationship with the Legion faction. Like, I am vilified. And I just keep killing them, too. I keep getting in fights with them, and Veronica doesn't help, because every time she sees one, she's running off and she's doing something against them.
Comm Rangers might have an incomplete picture.
So I know getting to Fortification Hill, we have to get there at some point.
Intel needs to be coordinated through Golf. So
But I don't think... It's not going to be easy.
Troopers have enough to do.
Unless there's a way that we can save ourselves and save our reputation.
Shoot.
I don't know, I think... Alright, so yeah, like I was saying, the cord on my microphone is going kaputs on me, so we're probably going to update that in between this stream and the next stream, because I've got to uncover all my cords for it. But if that was making any distraughting noises or anything, I apologize. That was completely unintentional. I know in my headset it sounded like mixture of, terrible hell noises and spaghetti turning in a pot, like people drowning in the fiery pits of hell's lasagna seas. What do you know about Kaiser?
The best of the best.
Just some high-pitched
worst
beeps?
of the
Yeah,
worst.
I apologize for that.
He came out of NCR, one of the followers of the apocalypse.
My
A lot of
equipment
the
isn't
followers
necessarily
who went
the
out in wilderness with a partner
top
tried to
notch
help
of
those who
equipment.
needed
The
help.
mic that I'm using.
Not much different from
Oop.
how the Rangers used to be.
The mic that I'm using right now is an old mic that I got some few years ago from I think I got it from a garage sale. The guy who used to have it
Out to
was
the Grand Canyon.
doing podcasts or
He met a
something like
missionary
that,
from
and just
Utah, a man
really
by the
didn't
name
make
of
anything
Joshua
out of
Graham.
it.
Graham helped translate for the followers and the tribes. All three of them got nabbed by the Blackfoots down there, back when they were still at war with every other tribe in the Southwest.
How did a follower wind up becoming Kaiser?
Somewhere along the way, he realized he needed to educate the Blackfoots or they were going to get wiped out with the rest of the tribe. Showed them how to use guns, how to make explosives. Once he taught the Blackfoots a thing or two, they needed him. And he no longer needed the followers, NCR, or anyone else. He decided he could remake the tribes of the Southwest whether they wanted it or not. He became Caesar, and Joshua Graham became his legate, his right hand. And that's where Graham stayed until Hoover Dam.
Really? I want to try something really quick. After we get done with this, I'm gonna blow through all this really quick. That's something I wish I could change. Not that I hate it, but the dialogue in this game does take a minute, especially in a few sections of the game, like the big MT. I swear I wish it didn't take like literally an hour to get through all of the dialogue options at the beginning when you're talking to the whatever they're called. What are they? Doctors, the scientists, whatever. Rangers mean something more about the heavy. No, it's not. Centaurians. I don't know. I don't think. I think I'm missing something on there, but I want to try this really quick. Let me see. I want to see. I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, more practice button smashing. I am the champion at button mashing, actually. Thank you very much. I have been smashing the hell out of that X button since I was just a wee lad, about knee high. So I consider myself a savant in that. Fallout New Vegas, shish kebab. Item code. Is it item code or? Oh yeah. Top notch. Actually, you know what? I think my first video game was Sonic Pinball. And that was... Christ, that was so long ago. No, I take that back. I think my first game was Pokemon. ID. Donkey Kong Country, yeah. That wasn't my first game. Nor did I actually technically ever own that game. But I did have a babysitter. When I was like 6 or 7 years old, I had a babysitter that would bring that game over sometimes, and she would play it with me and teach me how to play it. And there was one time she had left it behind, and I think it was the last time she ever came to babysit me too. And so I don't think I said anything to my parents. I think it just was left behind, and I knew it was there, but I didn't own a Game Boy. So I don't know what I was thinking keeping it for myself. I was so selfish at that time. But I think that's just the way kids are. I can't find the item number for it. I'm not too concerned about it. Well, you know what we'll do is we'll probably come across one. Oh yeah, no, for real. You know what she had? This is my thing. Okay, she was my favorite favorite babysitter because she had a GameCube, but not just any GameCube. She had the GameCube with the Game Boy attachment, so we could play Game Boy games on our GameCube. But that wasn't even like the coolest part. She had the Rocket Power video game. I think she had both the first one and the second one. And growing up, that was my favorite TV show. A little bit of personal thing about me, I am huge on skateboarding, rollerblading, anything on wheels. I like going out and I do it. I'm not good at it, of course, but Rocket Power, that was my shit, alright? So, yeah, she had the first two original games, and you know what, that was the thing. When I would go over to her house, my parents were out of town doing work or whatever else, and she was watching me, we would sit there, we would play Rocket Power, or if we had any Game Boy games that we wanted to play, we'd play those, and we'd watch the original Star Wars Clone Wars, right, back in, what was that, 2006, 2003, 2004, maybe? I might be wrong on my timeline, but yeah, no, I have a lot of fond memories of going over to her house and just having the best time of my life. Or we would watch, what else was there? There was another good show too. Wild Thornberrys. I don't know if you're ever big on that. I was huge on that show. That's that respect right there, dude. That's you and me. Understand the same. We were on the same wavelength. That's what brought you to me. That's what brought me to you. But no. Another huge show I was really big on growing up, and I'm huge on old cartoons, by the way. You ask me anything about any old cartoon from the old 2000s forward, even back like 1989 forward, right? So you're talking your old Ren and Stimpy, Rocket Power. You had other things like Brandy and Mr. Whiskers, which wasn't necessarily one of my favorite shows, but that was something in my itinerary. I watched that, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, that was some shit I clicked with. It just goes, I could talk about this all day, but the Wild Thornberrys was one of my tops, right? It was up there with Rocket Power. And I didn't know this, but I was also a really big fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I used to be really big into the music. Indie, not indie, but like that old school 90s rock. And Parappa Anime. That was a thing. Oh wait, like, are you talking Parappa the Rapper? Like the paper cutout, the video game? I didn't know they made an anime about that. Oh, dude, you've just unlocked a new piece of media culture that I'm gonna spend like the next 2 years of my life consuming just to catch up on. I remember the old games too. I didn't own the old Parappa games. I had a buddy who did though. We used to go over to his house and play. Dude, we used to go over to, it was only like 30 episodes? But that's 30 episodes of something I haven't watched yet though. So, silver lining. No, I'm gonna say it really quick. No, I used to go to my buddy's house, one of my buddies growing up. His dad was really big on to, technology and whatever else. Back in the early 2000s, back when adults weren't really, what technology was like a hip new investor thing and young people, and he was an older guy, but he was smart, you know, he was really good at computers and whatnot. And he had set up his son, my best friend growing up, had the original PlayStation 2 with the LAN attachment, but this guy also had like additional LAN attachments just laying around. And so, you know, us little group of buddies, me, my best friend, his older brother, his older brother's best friend, a few of our other friends from school, we would go over to his house. We would hook up the LAN attachment kits to our PlayStation 2s, and we would play games like Star Wars Battlefront, or there was a soccer game that we used to play. What else did we do? I think we did. There was one more too. It was. Christ, I'm drawing a blank on it. Played the soccer game. It was like I think it was like a Lego game. But it wasn't like the Lego Star Wars or anything. Which, another game that I was huge on was the original Lego Star Wars. But no, the big one was the Star Wars Battlefront. That game popped. Christ, I got all lost here. I'm not sure what I'm doing anymore. If we could see what's down at the end of this road really quick. I guess since we're just no, you're good, dude. You're good. You know what? I don't think this is the most fun I've had during a stream in a long time. And I don't know. I used to stream what like 3 years ago. I was like religious in streaming. I actually got not like huge or anything. This is back when you can stream on Twitch and you had a decent chance of getting like 100, 200, 300 followers or something like that in an instant. I was doing pretty good. I was streaming quite a bit back then. But I kind of fell off that bandwagon because I wasn't having as much fun. I wouldn't have the people who would have genuine conversations like this with me about these interests that we both share. It was a lot of like new people to Twitch who were like, do something fun. I do something and I'll follow you. And I don't know, it became more of like a chore than anything else. But this is the most fun I've had during a stream in a long time. And this is the thing that I've been looking for, you know? So I thank you for helping me find that. Look at that. Mr. New Vegas. Confirmed. Mr. New Vegas living up to his name. The one and only genuine Mojave legend. And he'll do it again. What is this place? This is the... I don't remember if that's the RepCon facility or what that is. It's something, though. I don't think it is, actually. This is... No, it's not RepCon. Shoot, what am I thinking of? The other one. I need to think of it before I come up on it. Hold on. Maintenance robot. I didn't see what it was. Robco, I think. Yeah, no, it's RepCon. Damn it! You came to Rise Play. Dude, you are welcome here anytime. Any day of the week. I don't know, I'm probably gonna get murdered the second I walk in here. I don't remember if they're aggro right away. No, we're safe. Alright.
Welcome to RepCon headquarters, Rocketeer. Come all this way to see our little facility, have you? I'm here to answer any and all questions you may have, within specified parameters. And if you'd like, I can provide a tour of our museum.
I don't think you get any experience if you do the tour, but I'm gonna skip it. It's an option.
Visit again. Oh, and please, for your
Low
own
intelligence
safety,
ice cream
stay
robot.
outside of restricted areas.
Now, I haven't done a low intelligence. Actually, this is something that I've been looking forward to. Let me get it out really quick. I have my Fallout challenges here. I've gotten a lot of notes written down of ideas for like how to make the game absolutely torturous to run through. Hey Alexa, turn the lights on.
How may I serve you, mistress?
Here we go. I got something. I had an idea written down here that I want to visit this place because I've read about. I think there's some really interesting, and you said it too there, I think. Really interesting low intelligence options here. But what did I call it? Baby mode, where all sets are all stats are set to level 1. There's no leveling up, and your character, your player character size is 1/4 of its original size. Otherwise, everything else is as normal. But I think that's like the icing on top is that small size.
How may I serve you, mistress?
Give me some ice cream. That's what you can do. I think that might be my next New Vegas run. I don't know. It might be too much for me, though. We might do something a little easier to start off with. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We got to finish this run first, though. Yeah, absolutely. I had that same idea, thinking, God, people are going to love watching me just torture myself trying to figure out how in the world do I get through this game the size of a goddamn baby, you know? But we got to finish this run first. And this is the Repcon building. I don't think there's actually anything here that is useful to us right now. That thing's all rusty and done for. I can't, oh no, my lockpick. I can't open this door because it's locked. Whatever should I do? No. Oh God, yeah? No? Can't get through, man. See if there's anything I could take out of the bathroom. Nothing. There's, you know what? I always check, or I try to always check. But there's a trap that you can find, and I don't know why you would ever set this trap because it doesn't make much sense, you know. But if you drink out of a toilet, sometimes you can find a trap set. I think it's electric trap or something like that. So when you drink out of it, you take electric damage or something. It could be grenade too. I don't know if it's a grenade. It could be a grenade. But nobody talks about that in this game, you know? Oh, fiends. Microfusion cells. 40 of them. That's going to give us a few more grenades that I appreciate. There's one more in the corner right here. Not able to get through there. I don't think there's really anything else in here that we can do. I don't want to go on the tour because I'm not trying to spend 10 days on this. You know, and that's why I spent way too long on my casual playthrough just to get interested, or not interested, but comfortable with pushing through and playing this game on stream. But yeah, I don't want to have a repeat of that. I think this is the 5th stream I've done now, maybe the 6th. We're kind of creeping up on our threshold. I don't think I have much use for fission batteries, but I guess we'll grab them. We've got the inventory space anyways, so why not? Pre-war money, of course it weighs nothing, so we take that. But again, what I really need is duct tape. Where am I right now? I don't want to get too casual. The rich, and it means nothing paper. Yes, absolutely. I don't know, that's something, I don't know, have you ever seen what $10 million looks like in hundreds? Because I have, but not in real money. I have a drawer in my room. I call it the $10 million drawer, and it is motion picture money, and it never leaves the drawer necessarily. I bought it once because I had an idea for a skit that I was gonna film once upon a time, but just like every other skit that I've ever written in my life in short movie, it's never really come to fruition. Maybe one day. But I bought it for the intent of using it on a skit or small movie or something like that, and it just never came to. But now I just keep it because it's cool. It's like, oh my god, that's just what $10 million looks like. Sometimes I'll put it in a briefcase just to like pretend I'm rich, you know. If that says anything, I think if that says anything about my my personality, that probably says that this guy is ridiculous. And I am. I mean, that money ain't worth nothing. And if anybody ever breaks into my house or steals anything and they come across that drawer, I can guarantee you they're going to try to take as much of that money as they can. They're going to take it out and they're going to try to spend it on something. Yeah, right. Money right there. How'd you get that? Carefully. Mysterious stranger, about time you show up. I got this perk, I think, 2 streams ago? I don't know, I might be wrong. It might have been the last stream. Regardless, though, it has been a minute, and I have not seen them. Tax evading techniques, exactly. Those are those big brain moves that that investors tell you not to tell anyone about. That wasn't too bad. Are there any more? I don't see any more. We're running out of bombs though. Like, yikes! The 100% off coupon. That's my favorite kind of coupon right there. Ant mound. I don't wanna risk it. I'm gonna lose my bombs going in there. Fiends. Yikes. I gotta be careful over here. Where are we? We're on the south part of Vegas. I thought maybe the west side's a little more safer than I thought. The free toaster from Spider-Man 2. Are you talking about the game or are you talking about the movie? Also, 10 out of 10. I'm gonna read your mind through the chat real quick. I'm gonna cover up chat here so I can't see it. Spider-Man 2, you're gonna say it. Spider-Man 2 was one of the best PlayStation 2 games to ever come out, right? And then when that pops up, it's gonna be like magic. But if you think anything like me, it's gotta be true, right? Where did he go? Oh, he's hiding behind this, he says. True. Absolutely true.